All right, guys, we're recording and we are live here 3 p.m. Eastern Time on May 18th. We are doing a brainstorming type session, a brainstorming webinar with my good friend John Bullard of myinventoryteam.com. John, how are you today?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm rocking and rolling, man. I'm excited. There are so many awesome projects in the works right now, and yeah, it's just such an amazing time to be. I don't want to say an entrepreneur because we're not all technically entrepreneurs, but we all have that that drive to do something, to build something for ourselves, and it's never been easier or cheaper to do it in all of human history than today, right? And today it'll be even or tomorrow will be even easier and cheaper. It's just going to keep getting that way. So be thankful that you're alive today, and hopefully we can share some information with you as we brainstorm together for ideas that we want to work on. These are certainly things that if you're listening to us live or on replay, these are things that you could also do yourselves. Copy what works, right? Don't try to reinvent, email marketing, right? Don't try to reinvent, website. Like, it's already there. Find something that works and make it your own. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So you guys should be seeing my screen. It looks kind of boring right now, but I'm probably going to pull up some sites after John and I brainstorm a little bit and kind of see what John's looking to build, how I can help him with that. And John, I think some of this has come from some of the stuff I've been doing recently that you've been watching, and you're like, "Ooh, I like that. I want to do some of that." And you reached out, and that's kind of what led to this webinar.
Exactly. I did reach out, and I think going back to what you said a little bit earlier, I think entrepreneur is not the right word. I think we're called innovators and movers and shakers.
Sure. Yeah, there's lots of different words for it. I would even say myself, where a lot of people peg me as an entrepreneur, I'm not like an entrepreneur. I am not someone who like builds businesses. I'm an idea guy, right? I enjoy a new idea, trying to execute it, and then going to the next idea and trying new things. I really enjoyed trying to do new things that no one's done before. That's part of the I think the allure, what makes it exciting for me. And the stuff that I've been doing in the past about 6 weeks is really crazy. I mean, I put something together and I'm like, no way, I can't believe it actually works. Because it's not just exciting for me, I really enjoy making things that other people can use themselves. So they can take a website and be like, ooh, I'm going to plug my Chrome extension into that. Or, oh, I want to use that to build my email list. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because none of us own any of this stuff, right? Like, I can take 5 pieces of the internet, 5 websites, put them together in my own new way. I don't own that, right? So I'm more than happy to share it with people. They can emulate it. They can copy what I'm doing. They can try to figure it out on their own. And this is where I think people, they miss the opportunity to make a lot of money, is to help other people do it, right? Now, John, we're friends. I'm not charging you. Now, I certainly could, right? And I'm sure I certainly will charge other people to do what we're going to do today, because it gives a ton of value, not only in shortcutting the learning curve on some of these things, but just the value of just being handed a turnkey site that will build an email list, that will distribute files and give away Chrome extensions and start subscriptions. All these things, they're not hard in and of themselves, but to put them all together in a way that makes sense and is consumable for the customer, that part is not as easy as people like me and you sometimes make it out to be.
So basically, what Chris and I decided to do is go from like a brand new person who's trying to build a list and trying to build a mailing list and create value. Now, how do you create value? There's two ways of creating value. You give away value for free, and you can also promote value that sometimes does have a cost to it, but the value of the cost is worth it to the client that you're giving it to, because it helps enhance their business and make their business grow. So you don't just promote something just to promote it. It has to make sense. It has to be a win-win for everyone. So what Chris was talking about brainstorming, and some of the things that I do with brainstorming, is I go on these Facebook groups and I watch things, and I watch movers and shakers like Chris Green and what he's doing. And when he came out with this, first of all, the Facebook Live thing was one of the first things he did, and now I'm doing it. I think that's brilliant in a lot of ways, a lot of good things you can do with that, especially trainings. Then he came out with his Chrome extensions, and his Chrome extensions are just brilliant. I mean, so I look at his Chrome extensions and I say, how can I create value, whether it be free or through a paid type value, for my network of people that I want to promote, or a mailing list that I want to promote to, that's a win-win for everybody. And these Chrome extension idea he had, I said, hey, Chris, I said, man, if you could actually go and teach people how to make these Chrome extensions and who to talk to, and we could actually qualify a list of people saying, hey, you got a Chrome extension, this is where you can go, and this is our approved list of people that you can actually work with to have your Chrome extension done. So that's a lot about brainstorming. I do that with a lot of different things and a lot of different websites. I talked to 2 other people today on calls and gave them suggestions about what they can do. Now, it's not all about me. It's about what we can do for them. And if you get that concept of what you can do for others, you're going to grow your business tremendously because of the value that you're providing for others.
Exactly. Everything in life is pretty much a value proposition, right? And we're going to talk a little bit today about what John said, building a list, which some of you guys may be like, what do you mean build a list? Like, what does that actually mean? What John means is build an email list, right? So a list of people's emails that you have contact with who have signed up, who have given you permission to email them, right? Now, you could say there's a bunch of different types of lists. I mean, John, we sell products on the internet, right? We have emails from our customers. Does that mean they want to be marketed to? No, not necessarily. So don't go out there and like download all your PayPal email addresses from every transaction you've ever done on PayPal and try to import them into a service like Aweber, ConvertKit, MadMimi, MailChimp, or some of the other. I mean, there's a ton of email services out there. We're talking about asking someone to give you their email address in exchange for some other kind of value. And it's 2016. It's not as easy as it used to be to say, oh, I'll put my email address in, whatever, because marketers have come in and they send too many messages, they spam. So you do have to provide value, right? So there's different ways you can do it. You can give away an ebook, a PDF download, access to a Chrome extension. There's a lot of different things you can do, but you can make it easy. You can make it kind of seamless to where as they purchase your Chrome extension, they're signing up for your email list. And then you have to respect the list, right? If you send 3 emails a day, people are going to unsubscribe pretty quick, right? Because just people don't like that much email, at least not anymore. So you have to respect your list and keep providing them value. And that's probably a topic for another webinar, where today we'll kind of talk about building them, and gathering, emails to start building that list. And one other thing I want to add to this is, guys, don't think you're going to have 1 million emails on your list after a week. All right, that's unrealistic. But be thankful for each and every one that gets on there. You get 2, 3, 4 people. Don't be like, oh man, I only got 4 people. Be thankful you got 4 people. 4 people who are following you. 4 people who are paying attention to what you have to say. And 4 people who took you up on your value proposition. Be thankful and keep growing and go on and keep moving forward. Like Gary Vee will say, 1 is greater than 0, right? 4 is greater than 3. So be thankful for everybody who joins your list, and and build it in a way that people want to join, right? There are mailing lists that I like being on, right? And there are some that I don't. But the ones I like being on, I don't feel like I'm being marketed to because I'm getting value from those lists. So.
And like Chris said too, he made a very valid point about email lists, and I think a lot of people, like what Chris is showing right there on that thing with 5 complaints. Well, a lot of times those complaints can happen because for the simple reason is you have a mailing list and you're selling physical products, but then you try to email something that's like an info product, and they didn't sign up for that. So you got to be careful where and what you market to your email list. And I've been caught doing that with, I have marketing product lists that I market all the time, and sometimes I'll get something from, Jim Corcoran or somebody else, and I'll promote it because it's a great value to them, but I also don't get the concept that they didn't sign up for that. So I'm still learning, and that's why Chris is here, is I want to break this list up, and I only want to market to what people want. I don't want to give them physical products and information if that's not what they signed up for, and that's a good way to lose people off your list. So even someone like me that has a decent-sized list with products, it's a learning curve in how you learn and how you become more effective. And I think that Chris, in a very short time that he's done this email campaign that he's doing, has done a real good job with it, and that's why I follow him, and that's why I'm friends with him and business partners, because Chris knows what he's doing. And I think when you find somebody that knows what they're doing, those are the ones that you want to follow, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Right, and I appreciate the kind words, John, but I would not say that I am an expert list builder, right? Like we all need to know who we are. I am not the best list builder out there, but what I've done in the past 6 weeks has been to put a lot of new things together that will build your list, right? So they have what they call hooks, so they have integration with these Awebers and convert kits and the other type of email services, so that when you're using a new website or a new funnel page and you're offering something, it's all integrated and all works together, right? Because I've collected emails, but I mean, we have Mailchimp, we have Mad Mimi, we have Aweber, and you can see from my page right here, I don't have a ton of subscribers. I mean, subscribers today, just one, 3 yesterday, because I'm only using Aweber on a few little sites. We use Mad Mimi for more of our other things like our Scan Power stuff. And I actually have one that I'm using where it just sends me a direct email, right? They're not actually being imported into Aweber. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. So let's look at one site that I really like. This is a kind of a secret site that I haven't really told anybody about. It's called Book Launch. You can find it online, booklaunch.io, for anybody who's taking notes. And what they do is they set up single-page websites, and they're designed for booksellers. All right, so let's see if I have one. I use it for my website, Chris Green. So chrisgreen.com is on Book Launch, and there's a way that you can put your Twitter thing up in here, and this link doesn't go anywhere. I'm not going to read all this stuff for you. So right here, sign up to know when high-end mentoring goes live. And if you put in your email, your name, first name and last name in here, then, actually let's edit this page. Oh, come on. Oh, it's this one here. All right, so Chris Green is on here. Let's go to settings. I have my integrations. All right, so on this one I don't have Aweber, but I do have SumoMe on, even though I really have turned it off. But let's look at the stats. All right, so here's all the emails that I have received. And sorry to anybody who's being listed in here. I'm not trying to show email addresses. But all these email addresses in here are people who have put their email in all the way up till yesterday. 2 people yesterday put their email in that they're interested in what I'm offering on this website. Now I can gather up all of those and I could import them. It would have been better for me if I had imported them directly. And you can do that. Let me see if I have one on here. You see how many I have. I mean, this is just the easiest way. Book Launch free will give you booklaunch.io/your-name/some page. If you pay them $10 a month, you can have custom URLs, which is genius. It's perfect, right? Because then you can just change one setting in GoDaddy, and now you have a new page. So this one goes to Aweber. Okay, so if I do the page settings here and look at the integrations, I have Aweber turned on. Okay, now I know I'm going a little fast on this, but this goes to the retail arbitrage list in Aweber. So anybody who puts their information in here will go to manage lists and my retail arbitrage list. All right, so here, so I have over 1,000 subscribers on this site. Now to set this up, I could seriously set this entire setup from not even having a URL, not even having a domain name, in less than 5 minutes. Right? I would go to GoDaddy, I would register the name. It would take less than a minute for that to be active in my account, where I could go in and I could change some of the DNS info. I'll show you where that is here. I know I might be talking a little confusing on this part. But you set up custom domains, and this is it. This is everything I do in GoDaddy. Right? I can do it in 30 seconds. First time you do it, it's probably going to take a couple minutes. Once you have that set up, then you put in your website right here. Now that website is going to point to a Book Launch page. That's it. That's how it works. So now you have a website. Now this is a block. So if I come down here and add a section, they have an email section. Right? So they can put in this block that collects their email. And because you go to your settings and integrations and you turn on Aweber and you've made a list in Aweber, it's going to see it automatically. So it's going to say everybody that signs up here is going to go straight to that list. And you're done. You now have a website in seriously less than 5 minutes where you can offer something here, right? You can say right here, sign up for my email list, and you'll immediately get access to this Chrome extension, this PDF download, this webinar replay, this whatever you want, or register here for this webinar. I mean, over 100 of you guys registered for this webinar and gave us your email address. Now, you guys know John and I are not super marketers. We're not going to just like send a bunch of stuff your way, but we have your contact information, right? So we can then send a follow-up message if we want to. The way it works in pretty much every email service is once they sign up, they can then automatically be sent some emails. So they can have an email that goes out immediately at sign up that includes your bonus, your offer, a link to an unlisted YouTube video to keep it exclusive, whatever you are offering. And guys, I can't emphasize this enough. Value is subjective. It is absolutely subjective. So when you make a 5-minute video about how to source products on HomeDepot.com and you're like, I can't believe everybody doesn't know this, that doesn't mean that other people don't get a lot of value out of it because they don't know, right? Other people don't know what you know. And do not discount the value of the stuff that you know. I promise everybody out there is good at something. And if you can package that, what you're good at, so that other people can consume it, whether for free or for money, people are going to like that value. I promise. And the people who say, oh, I already knew how to do that, that's okay, right? People aren't going to be like, oh, I already knew how to do that, therefore everything from this person is useless. That's not how it works. People are more normal than you think. They're going to be like, yeah, oh, I already knew that. That's cool. That's a good trick. And that's why you want to keep your videos precise, on point, short. I mean, like, don't make a 15-minute video about how to sort bestsellers on Amazon, right? That's a 30-second video, right? So get to the point with your value. I know we're going a little off track right there. But John, I don't know if you've ever set up a site like this, but I mean, under 5 minutes to having a custom website, fresh, brand new, and that website's going to cost you like $8 a year. Book launch is going to cost you $10 a month. That's just for one site. You can have like 100 sites, as you've seen. Same thing, $10 a month. Aweber or MailChimp or any of these sites probably going to cost you at least $20 a month. But now you're off and rocking, right? Like you can upload your content to YouTube for free. That can be your content that you're going to offer, and you're building an email list. And you look good doing it because you're using a real email service. You're using a real domain. You know, like these look great. They look great here, and they look great on mobile, which is why I use them. I mean, I wouldn't use them if they didn't look great on mobile.
Yeah, that was the other question I had, because I've had some people tell me with Aweber, Aweber for some reason doesn't like certain mobiles, and they told me to use Mail something else. There's another one that when I send out my offers through Aweber, they say on the mobile version sometimes it spreads it out and it looks all jumbers.
Yeah, it could be, and I say I'm not trying to promote one email service over the others.
Right.
I've just had Aweber for a long time. What I really should do is export everything, and I would probably use more of ConvertKit than Aweber. It just seems to be a little more updated and working. Which one was it? This one? I put ClickFunnels on one of my websites, and I forget which one it was. You have too many websites. All right, that's just redirecting.
But I find it interesting that if I'm following you, I find it interesting that you're setting these websites up, and are you not getting a host, or you are getting a host?
No, no host. That's what Book Launch is doing.
That's kind of cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Which one did I do? Was it Bolo Power? No, I didn't do Bolo Power. It even like scrolls in on the side a little bit. So I use this to launch a webinar, right? And you sign up here.
See, basically, about the people that are on this call, just for me listening to Chris, I'm brainstorming over here, and I've already come up with, just in this little thing that he did here, I just think that it would be great to create a video or something showing people exactly how to use Book Launch, step all the way through, right, including to the point of actually sending out to their list. So brainstorming can come in many different ways.
Oh, totally. I mean, and just because I use it one way doesn't mean someone else isn't going to use it a different way. Um, we're here, we're like 23 minutes in. Let's take a little bit of a question break before I kind of switch gears on this. Johnny Appleseed, have you had any luck with email lists, buying email lists from companies like Exact Data? I'm thinking specifically for selling shirts. No, I would, and it's just something I've never done. I'm not sure it would really match what I'm trying to do, is to buy an email list. Yes, you certainly could. Um, that's not really what we're going to cover today. Timothy Coyle, what's up, man? Finally got my Shopify and eBay synced with FBA. Don't have a clue to direct people to Shopify. I mean, you guys got to do paid ads. I mean, you got to get people to care about your website. That's the thing. Just because a website exists does not mean anybody's going to care about it. And I don't say that to be mean or anything, but I see people, like with my Merch by Amazon group, people posting shirts. Why is anybody buying my shirt? I'm like, I don't know. Just because it exists doesn't mean people are going to buy it, right? You don't get sales just because you exist. It's the real secret to hustling, to entrepreneurship, to business, to whatever you want to call it, is you have to hustle your face off to get people to care, right? It's not hustle your face off to learn how to make a website, right? That's not hard. It's not hustle your face off to be popular on YouTube or on Facebook, whatever. Hustle your face off is to get people to care about what you're doing, right? Because there's a lot of options out there, right? We are so super thankful you guys are choosing to listen to us today because you have a lot of options of who to listen to today. From the radio to YouTube to your friends to family to us, right? And you guys chose us, and we're super thankful for that. You have to hustle your face off. What John and I have done over the past 10 years is try to provide value to as many people as possible so that when we do say, hey, we're doing a webinar, would you like to come? People pay attention, right? If I went to a group that had no idea who I was, and the first thing I did was say, hey, come to my webinar, it'd be crickets. Nobody would come. Nobody would be like, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. Why should I go to your why should I give you my time? Right? But if I went to that community and joined the community and provided value and answered questions and learned about that community and became a part of it, then yeah, I earn the right to say, hey, I'm doing a webinar. Anybody want to come? And people will listen. Doesn't mean they'll come, but I get the right to ask, right? I get that at bat. Doesn't mean I'm going to hit it, but I get that at bat. All right, but before I'm going to blow your mind with ClickFunnels here, John. I mean, the stuff we just covered was easy, right? Like set up a website inexpensively, simply, mobile friendly. I mean, that's again the thing I like about Book Launch. They are mobile friendly. Oh, don't play the music. Uh, that was the easy part. ClickFunnels is a little more complicated, but it is incredibly powerful, ridiculously powerful. And what I'm going to show you guys today, I don't think has ever been shown to anyone else before. It's something as soon as I figured it out, I was so excited. I was telling everybody in my little circle, like John Lawson, Nate McAllister, if you guys know those guys, they use ClickFunnels as well. So here we go. Update. Yeah, I mean, don't give me updates. I want to get to the site. Come on. What even is this? How do I get past this? How do I get out of here? It's not giving me a thing. It's in the corner. Oh, there it is. They hit it, but I couldn't even see it. With the GoToMeeting was covering it. All right, so this is ClickFunnels, and what a funnel is, guys, is to set up if you imagine the shape of a funnel, you're going to have, website visitors, people that click your links, people that sign up for your email address, people who download your offers, people that become customers, right? And that list is going to go down in the shape of a funnel. So what ClickFunnels, it helps you set up these funnels very easily. They have funnel templates that you can use. I use this on several different, actually, let's show merch alerts. This is ClickFunnels. OA Highlight is on ClickFunnels. So what OA Highlight is a Chrome extension that we charge $15 for. And you come here, it's got a video, right? So this is a template. So actually, do I have OA Highlight on this one? No, OA Highlight's the one that I'm working on with Nate McAllister. So this is on his account. This is a one-page. Actually, I got merch alerts on my account. So let's do that. So merch alerts is another free extension that I put together. So it says, I want merch alerts. And it says you get free, all you do is put in your email address. So let's put in a fake email address. And here's a little trick, guys. You can put plus and anything after your email, and this is still going to go to chris@scampower.com. So you don't have, if you're testing, you want to see how each new test comes in. Because some of these, once you add your email address, it's not going to let you add it again, right? So it's an easy hack to do that. So you say, yes, I want merch alerts. It's going to take us to a new page. And the page says, hold up. I made these sketchbooks, right? And these are 2 Amazon listings that I made through CreateSpace. Don't have time to get into CreateSpace. Now, this isn't a great example because there's no conversion tracking here, right? Like, people can click on these. If they buy them, that's great. I don't know that that purchase or that click came through here. Actually, I could probably see if the click came through, but I can't tell if they actually purchased it. But they don't have to, right? So I'm putting a little bit of marketing in between the offer and the delivery of that offer, all right? Nice and simple. You can put any type of offer in here as well, including an upsell to a different product. So if they buy these, it's going to open up in a new tab. They can buy the book for $7. Or they say, cool books, bro, just take me to merch alerts. And they click here, and they go to merch alerts. Now, the way this is set up, we're not going to get into this, but I did make it, it only works, what? I didn't put a space here? Wow, that's awful. You have to join a Google group, and that being in that group is what activates the merch alerts extension. That's it. That's the whole funnel. So actually, let's fix that right now. Show you how easy it is to fix it. So you see, this is a 3-page funnel, a squeeze page with a one-time offer, and a confirmation page. All right, we're done. Saved. See, squeeze page, what's called an OTO, one-time offer, and an order confirmation page. Now, this works great if you have an offer or funnel that you're using just one. So I get this. This is my URL right here. This is the link that I would share with people. It's long, it's ugly, I don't like it. I would rather have just a domain, such as OA Highlight, which is what we've done here. There's a lot of easy ways to do that. And let's follow this funnel. Get your copy for $14.99. All right. So this is a purchase one, right? So this is integrated with a company called Stripe. They are a very large company processing transactions. They're great. They put all their credit card number in, and they complete their order, and that's it. And at the end of that, you can still have another upsell. You're going to join your email list. But here's the key. This is the cool part. This site, Omnitrage, that I'm just using kind of as an experiment. You see, I haven't even named the section up here. This has ClickFunnels built in. ClickFunnels in Book Launch, and it works on mobile. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So you can still have your main domain, and you can bring in a different funnel anytime that you want. And the secret to doing this, which this is something that we should be charging for, is to, under publishing, you want to take you want to embed the frame. Yeah, you want to embed this iframe. If you copy and paste this iframe into Book Launch in a new section, HTML, paste your iframe in here, that's going to give you ClickFunnels within Book Launch. So you can have your basic Book Launch site, which again has nothing to do with books. Have your basic site. Now when you're ready to go pro and collect email addresses with special offers and everything that comes with ClickFunnels, you can integrate them. So you're not just stuck with all these different ClickFunnels links. You can still use them on your custom domain. All right. Now, did I go over your head, John?
Yeah, about 15 minutes ago.
Well, don't worry. All this stuff, everything you can do in ClickFunnels. All right, let me go back to regular.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. Anybody type in that chat if it went over your head.
Poor Rhonda. Rhonda's here. This is awesome, but way over my head. Steve says works on Gmail-based account, not just. Yeah, Steve. Sorry, I didn't explain that better. It works on any Gmail. ScamPower actually runs on Gmail. Yeah, you can put Google
Analytics. See those comments because I can't see them.
No, I don't think you can. You're only a panelist and not like an admin.
Okay. All right.
Uh, the book launch landing page that you give away to sell content with Aweber forms opt-ins. Yeah, Mike, that I use, and again, you can use any like hosting that you want. That's something John asked earlier. What kind of hosting are you using? I'm not using hosting. I just direct the domain to book launch, and book launch is the one serving up the website. And they do that very inexpensively because they're only a one-page website. And most of what I do is only one-page website needed, right? If you want someone to sign up, you want someone to download something, you want to have a place where they can find your extensions, information about you, whatever it might be. I only need one page, one site, right? That's it. I'm not building blogs and
You're
places
just
that have a lot
basically
of.
building a landing page.
Yeah, we're building a one-page landing page. Like that. That's it. You know. So trying to keep that part really, really simple. Um, so John, we've touched on Chrome extensions. We've touched on a little more advanced um, stuff with ClickFunnels here. Like I said, these are all trigger events. So when someone signs up, what's going to happen? You can tie this to. Actually, I wonder if I can just quickly show how to tie it. I've got 133 contacts from here. So this is connected to Aweber, and this is the list, the merch alerts extension. Now, do I still have? All right, so manage my lists. Where's my merch alerts extension? So I've gotten 388 subscribers. Now, the key about this, it's not numbers, guys. These people are merch by Amazon sellers, right? Like without a doubt. Nobody's downloading that extension unless they're using merch by Amazon, right? So you can have multiple lists going. You can have, you can send messages to all or just some. But we want to just kind of focus on building these lists, and I would keep them very specific if you're collecting them for different reasons. All right, so for the rest of maybe 15, 20 minutes here, John, let's talk about what you want to do, and then I'm going to kind of take some notes, and we're going to build exactly what you want, and we're going to show it next week, and we're going to reveal to everybody which sites we're using, which pieces, what the purposes are, how much you're going to have to spend per month if we're using anything that comes with a monthly fee, and everything that goes with that. Okay, you ready?
I am. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to build is a site, like you said, where I can create value, whether it be free or paid type stuff for members. And I like the way that you did this because if I'm not mistaken, with your ClickFunnels, you could actually use ClickFunnels to do the webinar type thing too, where you have the webinar and a one-time call to action at the end of the webinar for the people that are on the webinar. So you can actually link those two together.
They have a lot of great webinar, the perfect webinar funnel, and some of these you can just buy the funnel, right? Like they have a funnel marketplace, and I bought all of them. I'm like, holy smoke, I'm not going to try and invent a new funnel. Um, they've done it all, right? So they will give you an entire, well, they don't give you, they have to buy the funnel, but I mean, you can just set up a webinar funnel.
Yeah.
Um, it takes you through every one. It's got a one-time offer here, the order form, the replay room. Actually, if we wanted to make a brand new one, host webinar right here. So you can do live and replay. I mean, and imagine the replay webinar value, John, to where you can just say, hey, go to this webinar replay. If you want to watch the replay, you got to put in your email address. And then it's hands off, right? You don't have to, hey, we got to do the live webinar. John, you ready? You got a good internet connection? No, they know it's a replay, and they're sitting there, they can watch it. And it has an
Yeah.
offer at the end. They give you this like from the beginning, right? They will give you a webinar replay or a live webinar, and you can connect it to Webinar Jam, to GoToWebinar, whatever you want to use. So I mean, there's different ways to provide value and grow your list. So many different ways. So, um, you
So
know what? If I'm hearing you right, you want to have something that has maybe a free offer, a paid offer, and maybe even a webinar.
right.
All right. If it was me, just because I wouldn't want to set up hosting and host 3 different sites, um, I would get 3 different domains, and I would
Okay.
host them all on Book Launch.
Okay.
Now, what we should do, just to be simple, is you need to register 3 domains, whatever they are. I'll give you the information to point them to Book Launch. and I'll put the 3 domains on my book launch account. Right. Just for
Okay.
simplicity. I mean, if you want to, you can open up book launch account and I mean, well, do it on my account. Well, here's what we do. Open up a new account, put a test password on it, and send me that login so
Okay.
that I can build them on your account and then just turn it over to you at the end. That way I don't have to rebuild them out of my account on your account later. Um,
Test login. Okay.
I mean, just make it, I don't want to know your real password, right? So just make it like
Right.
password 123 or something. And then after I give them to you, change the password to whatever you usually use. Um, I don't know if we'll need ClickFunnels. Who are you using for email collecting right now?
I use Aweber.
Okay. So I'll give you the directions to set up the right lists. Um, I'm pretty sure I can probably connect it without your password. I just don't want to know I don't even want to know it, right? I don't even want to pretend I know it. Um, or maybe I'll just give you the login to, and you can connect it yourself. Yeah, yeah, because if we both have the same login to Book Launch, you'll be able to go in and connect a Weber. So you have to make the lists
Right.
first, so that when we go to connect, it'll see these lists in Book Launch. And yeah, I would keep it simple. I don't think we need to put ClickFunnels on right away. I think that's going to just make it more complicated than it needs to be.
Okay.
But we can certainly build email lists with free offers, paid offers, and a webinar offer. And
Okay.
I don't know, we might make it more complicated before next week. So you want to do a live webinar or a replay?
No, we could do it live because I want them to see how it plays out and
No, we'll
how.
do ours live. But I mean, are you going to offer on your like? Do you
Oh,
want to do a weekly webinar that you have to keep track of?
no, it's going to be like a one-time webinar,
Okay.
and it'll have a replay, obviously, but the offer will be for the one-time live webinar.
So we'll do live, and then we'll turn it into a replay.
Right.
Because you can do that after the fact. Just change the website. That way, all the existing traffic that's coming in will still go to the same place.
Right.
They'll just get the replay instead of the live.
Now, you said to create 3 domain names,
Yeah, make 3 sites.
and it doesn't matter what the name of those sites are.
They just have to be available, or ones that you already have.
Right.
I mean, your company's My Inventory Team. You might start calling something MIT, webinar.com.
Right.
Or
Now 50 people on this thing just bought it, so I got to buy it off of them.
no, they won't buy it. I promise they won't. I mean, go register it, but what are people gonna do with that? I mean, someone may already have it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, get 3 domains, um, and then yeah, then I'll build the rest around it, and we'll link them all together. And then what we need to do is get it done a little ahead of time, so that you can post a little bit and start seeing the email addresses come in and how it works. So that once
Right.
we do the reveal next Wednesday, people will be able to say, "Oh, okay, I get it. This is how it works. This is how we're basically putting 3 or 4 sites together in a way that makes sense, right? Book Launch doesn't collect, well, they do collect emails, but not as well as Aweber. And Aweber doesn't host web pages, right? And they don't register domains, and they don't run videos and all that stuff. So,
Right.
oh, poor Tim. Tim's used to selling physical wholesale licensed clothing. This is above my head. Okay, we should have talked about this a little bit more at the beginning. The idea of building a list and having a list of email addresses for people who want to get more information from you, from your customers, whatever it is because that's their home base, right? For the foreseeable future, people are always going to have their email address, right? Now that probably will change, right? Where people they're not going to use email as much as before. But it's like if you're going to sell on Amazon or sell on your own website, uh, where's your home base, right? Where do you control everything? And if you're all Amazon, you don't control it all. Amazon does. Understand why people sell on Amazon because it's easy. That's where the customers are. But if you have your own customers, your own home base, then it's something you can control, whether it's your own domain or it's your own email list of customers. If you can get a hold of people and contact them with special offers and provide value to them, then in exchange, they're going to provide value back to you, whether it's in purchasing your products or sharing about some of the stuff you do, give you a little social equity and testimonials, whatever it is. Um, it's important to have. And I've probably been made. If I go back in time 5 years, the biggest mistake that I've made is not building an email list from day one. Right? Like no one would believe. I'm showing you guys the truth. You can look into my AWeber account and you can see how many email subscribers I have, and it's not a lot. Right? It is not a lot. If someone said how many email addresses does Chris Green have in AWeber, and you told him 3,000, you'd be like, no way. Right? But am I going to look backwards? No, that'd be dumb. Look forward, right? It's never been easier to build all these things. And the worst part is people just don't open their email as much as they did 5 years ago when I should have started. So shame on me, but we're not going to look backward. We're going to look forward. All right, John, you got your homework ready?
Yeah, you got me opening a test login account at book launch, and then you got me doing 3 sites, finding 3 domain names.
Right. Now you're going to have to figure out what you want to offer for free, what you're
Right,
going to want to offer for money,
right.
and what kind of content well, if you're doing a live webinar, then do you have your own GoToMeeting account, or what do you use?
What's that?
You use Webinar Jam, or what do you use for your webinars? Oh, you use
Uh,
Jam, right?
I can use Webinar Jam, or there's another one too that we can use GoToWebinar probably.
Okay, I'll get that information from you. So, no, this will be easy, man. So, is this something you'd want to figure out on your own, or are you glad that we're gonna kind of tackle this together?
I'm glad we're tackling it together.
Yeah, I know. I set you up for that one.
I
No one
think
wants
I
to do
think
it on their own.
I
We'll take
think
it
it also
together.
shows the I think it also shows the power of your circle of influence, like I talk about with my new book that I'm coming out with.
Right.
Uh, I need you to be in that book too, by the way.
I mean, you're making me write 5 pages, man.
Is that too much?
No, I'll put it together.
I mean, I think the most important part of that book that people should understand is when you're talking about creating value is that I give you 100% of the credit, and I know I told you this before, and I've said it in many groups that you're the one that told me in order to get your name out there, you got to go out and provide value and answer questions for people, and you'll be surprised what happens from that. And I built my whole community based on what you told me, and I'm still 100% indebted to that.
Hey, well, you did the work, man. You got out there and answered questions. Uh, we got a couple questions that are coming in from a man Appleseed. He's wondering who the picture is in my ClickFunnels account. I think it's from Gravatar up here. This is the guy that originally registered chrisgreen.com, and I purchased the domain from him a couple years ago. But he has his picture. So any site that is pulling a profile image from Gravatar is still pulling this, and I just haven't gone in and changed it. So that's why you're seeing that guy. And Tim Coyle, that's the challenge. I saw a particular theme without any knowledge of acquiring repeat customers. Well, Tim, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, man, but if you are selling, kind of similar stuff over and over again, I think it'd be a real benefit to have a customer base, especially if you could divide it out. And I'm not sure exactly what you're selling, but if you have people who buy, kids' clothes, people who buy sports clothes, or people who are, the Chicago Bulls fans, then when you get in some new Chicago Bulls stuff, you sell to them direct. Just go straight to them and give them a good price. You don't have to mess with Amazon and everything else. You can just give people what they want. But you have to have you have to be organized. You have to have those segmented email lists based on which site they're coming from, what their interests are. I'm trying to get better at it. That's why I have so many different lists going here for different sites. You know. But John, you ever got an email from me, like a marketing email?
I don't think I'm on your marketing emails yet.
That's just because I don't send any out. So, I know how to do all this stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so,
I'm
yeah.
looking of all your lists. You got quite a few lists.
Yeah, they're all for like different sites. And
Yeah, I
Send
know
a
how to
quick
do.
care message.
We set those up. I know how to set up and segregate the list. The one thing that we didn't go over with people that may not know on Aweber, I don't even know if Chris knows, but when you send something out to a list, like Chris says, he doesn't send.
They don't
um,
send it in. Yeah.
when you send something to a list the first time, you can go back in and you can send it back out to the people that didn't open it. You can
Oh, cool.
segregate it. You can segregate it to, let's say if you got 1,000 people and only 300 open it, you can send it back out to just those 700 people that didn't open it.
Smart. Man, I gotta do that. Actually, I should probably send a merch by Amazon email. Because I came out with a little gum. I mean, we didn't even talk about Gumroad, man. That's a topic for another day. But yeah, I
Uh,
put a product up on Gumroad, and it's specific to merch, and I just posted it in my group. Right? I didn't email it. I got people. I got 400 people here, or whatever it is, that I know are interested in merch by Amazon, and I didn't even offer it to them.
yeah,
So it is what it
yeah,
is.
you can send that out to them. And like I said, if everybody opens things differently, and sometimes people don't even they get bombarded with so much stuff that they don't even open it. So let's say only 80 open it. You can go back in an hour or two later, or a day later, and you can segment it to the people that didn't open it.
Yep, pretty easy.
It's kind of cool. I mean, you got to go in and give it a name, like you could, whatever it is, merch 2 or whatever you want to call it, so that you know where the segment is, so that you can click on that and it only goes to them.
All right, here we go. All right, two more questions. We're probably going to wrap it up, guys. But be sure to click on the link for part 2. It's in most of the Facebook posts that you probably saw if you're watching this one. Same time next Wednesday, and we'll recap. So, question from Mike. If you would like to license the author's content, such as instructional videos, what do you recommend? If you'd like to license other authors' content, I mean, I would just contact them first. I mean, a lot of people are going to be very happy to have someone else promoting their content. They may already have an affiliate program set up. They may let you promote it for free. Depends if they're giving it away for free for their own marketing, or if they are charging for it, how you'd want to approach them. But if you believe that your audience, whatever your audience is, Mike, would have or would get value from another author, someone who's making videos, I would just contact them and say, look, my audience would love your stuff. How can we work together? Just open that dialogue and do a little business development. That's really all it is. Um, just be transparent about it and find a win-win situation. That's really all you need to do. Um, I mean, sometimes you want to just pay and white label it. Like some of the extensions I've been talking about, I'm more than happy to discuss white labeling OA Highlight for you guys. Right? You want your own version of OA Highlight? You want to call it something else and give me a new logo? No problem. And then I'll even set up the whole website for you. And then you promote it. And all the sales that come in, you keep the money. Right? You can do anything you want once you know how to put these things together. So if you're interested in that, guys, let me know. Um, Poor Tim understands the struggle. How do I stay focused with all these different topics like Star Wars merch, FBA, etc.? And it's tough. And Tim, I probably don't put as much time into some projects as I should by putting more effort into other projects. I mean, I got Bolo Power going on right now. I've got Merch Power. This is kind of spur of the moment thing we're doing here with John to talk about brainstorming and different websites. Uh, I do what I like, thankfully, so it doesn't seem like work. So when you like something, then you can spend a lot of time on it and you enjoy it. And I am trying to get better at saying no to some projects and spending more time on other projects, just because I'd be a dummy not to make more money with merch. Uh, it's just such a huge platform. But one thing, I mean, this is a little bit of a shameless plug for the last people who are still here with us. I am setting up my high-end mentoring, and a lot of it's going to include white label versions of my websites, my funnels, my Chrome extensions, where I'll let you guys use them. You guys use them, promote them. You guys keep the money. Like, I'll teach you guys how to set this up. I will hand you turnkey websites. It's kind of the best value that I can give you guys. It's not going to be cheap. And the price is not set yet on the website, but a lot of the offer is set at chrisgreen.com. We briefly looked at it, but I didn't want to read it on the air. But if you listen to this on replay, you can
Yeah,
see it. But it's going to be good. I mean, just talking through with John right here. I mean, the value that we can hand over to people by understanding how to do this stuff, it's ridiculous, right? It's not some $300 meetup. It's some high-end mentoring. But if you're interested, chrisgreen.com, you can find it there.
I think one of the things for Tim too, to answer his question too, is he says how do you juggle them all? I think what you do is you prioritize them and you master one, and once you've got something down packed, then you move on to something else. Otherwise, you get analysis paralysis. I mean, you're just going to be doing little bits of each one, and nothing gets done.
Look at this, Linda Joseph. John, you know Linda.
Yeah, I know that. That's going to be in my book.
She just sent a message, and she made this site in less than 10 minutes, her first book launch site. Already done. Nice and easy. This looks great on mobile. It's got the pictures. It's got a link. It's done, right? And with the paid account, you can remove the top and bottom logos, right? And you would get the domain. So you can tie this button to all kinds of different things. It's just that easy, guys. This is free. This is the free version, right? So if you're sending direct traffic, you just send them here. It doesn't matter if it's on a domain. I'm just kind of vain about domains. I just want to have a nice, clean .com to send people to, but it's not required. You know what I mean? So easy. It looks good, Linda. I like it. All right, John. I'll give you the last word before we wrap it up.
Well, I got my homework. Like I said, I got to come up with my free offer and paid offer. Like I got so much going on in my head that I'll figure out what I need, what I want to do. But like Linda just did in 10 minutes. I mean, guys, I don't know if she was on this call and did it while she was on the call because of what she just learned, or if she already knew. But it's just amazing and how fast you got that website up without having to, have a hosted other than that site that you called the booklaunch.iu for anyone that didn't hear that site that Chris talked about. That's just amazing.
Booklaunch.io.
IO.
Yep. It's really just that easy. So, guys, if you have questions for me or John, you can find us online during the week. We'll be happy to answer any questions. I'll post the link for the follow-up webinar. It'll be next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, same time as this one. And yeah, John, I'm excited. I think you're going to be happy with what we put together for you. It's going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited.
Tim's already said, I can't wait to see what we come up with for next week. So we got high expectations out there, John, and it's our job to exceed them.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what scares me sometimes. That's why you're the master on this, as far as doing these type of things. I know I've been talking to you for years about building a list, and you finally did it. And like you said, we're not going to go through old hash stuff, but I'm just glad that you're doing it now, because I think that you've got a lot of valuable stuff that you put together that people really need to know, and that will really enhance their businesses.
Yeah, that's the plan. Share information, share value, and it helps build your own list. It builds your own reputation. It's kind of a win-win for everybody. It's a really amazing business that we can basically make money by helping other people. That's it, right? So let's look at this in the big picture and just simplify things and understand that's how we're rolling. All right, thanks so much, guys. We're at the top of the hour. We went basically the full hour, even though we didn't really want to, but we did. So thanks for staying with us the whole time. Reach out to us during the week if we can answer questions. Look for that link to part 2. If you want to recap any of this, look for the replay to be posted maybe the next day or so. Thanks as always for watching. John, we will be chatting over the next few days. And yeah, thanks for being on this brainstorming session, guys. See ya.
All right. Thanks, Chris.